Spotlight, episode 6. Still, we're reading Violated, the True Life Story by Miriam Poyen. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to whoever is watching me right now. Still, I'm Kimlia OJ, but if you're new to my channel, Alias Ayakale, but you can call me Kimlia OJ. Now, we're still reading Violated, the True Life Story by Miriam Poyen. Welcome to We're reading Violated, the True Life Story by Miriam Poyen. On our last episode, episode 5, we stopped at chapter 5. Now we're moving to chapter 6, Mentality, My Mind Got Sick. Your guess is as good as mine. At this time, I was not mentally functional. It was like I was living in another realm. The guilt and the shame of what I had done would not leave me. It now seemed everyone was laughing and jeering at me, even though I had nothing to do with me. The feeling I got was even more than what I would have felt if I had kept the pregnancy. That few set of people I told could not keep it secret because of the unsafe procedure of abortion in this part of the world. Then were afraid I could develop complications and die. This I can say, the image of the people's scenario would not just leave me. I thought my pregnancy was the real problem, but I had a bigger monster of self-condemnation and guilt to take care of right now. It ate me up completely. I stopped seeing me and stopped believing in myself. Self-confidence was gone down the drain. My outspokenness waned completely. Who wants to have anything to do with this ungodly lady? That's what I named myself at this time. Respite was not in sight. The abortion-induced self-medication I was doing had caused more harm than good. I became ill. At the moment, the stillness in mind could capture everything that happened in the hospital and how I felt, the scratching sound, the medical tools that was placed into me, and how blood gushed out of me. I gripped a nurse that day and told her to pray for me. Her response was, "Sorry dear, no one seemed to be smiling in the theater." Maybe due to the severity of what was being done. I just could not fathom an anguish and the pain I began to experience. D&C, dilation and curettage. D&C is a surgical procedure in which the cervix is opened, dilation, and a thin instrument is inserted into the cervix, then into the uterus. This instrument is used to remove tissues from the inside of the uterus, curettage. This method is used to diagnose and treat medical conditions that affect the uterus, such as abnormal bleeding and also miscarriages. D&C risks and complications: bleeding, infections, perforations in the uterus, holes in the uterus caused by the instrument. Living a careless life has its attendant consequence. I thought we were having a swell time, but we were having a dangerous time. I was at the footstep of death. How many have gone on an ignorant voyage, this like me, and are currently 6 feet under? I believe I only found mercy in the sight of God. Young people should look before leaping. They should count their costs before building their castles of love in the air. Most of the time, it was futile journey that often does more harm to the female gender. There was no illicit sex. At least, I would not be doing a D&C. Neither would I have been in pain of abortion. Loneliness. In the depth of loneliness, there was no one I could talk to. My boyfriend was nowhere to be found. He had taken to his heels. There was no emotional support. Who would I tell that I am just had an abortion? I locked myself up in the house was after everyone has left, and I would cry my eyes out. Only if tears could reverse a situation. I had enough of it in my balance to change the course of my life. At that very moment, I was feeling feverish and my body temperature was on a very high side. I could not even pass urine properly for weeks. It was indeed a terrible crime. Guess what? He just suddenly showed up from nowhere. I mean my boyfriend. He begged in the street with his friend. He tried to refund 5,000 to me. I rejected the offer. At this point, I already had small sense and I knew exactly what I wanted to do. He never knew what I was going to do. The money assuaged the burden and guilt I had carried for weeks. Would it repay for the life of the innocent baby? Help came. I told myself that what I was going through was enough. I wanted a better life and not be locked up in the room and soak all day. All the other young girls who we always all got together had all disappeared. They were all gone. I knew that I had exposed myself to danger, and I had to make a tilt. That I had exposed myself to danger, and I had to make a tilt in the right direction. I found this solace only in Christ. I found a place to comfort that eventually defined everything. I began to fellowship with this Christian fellowship. The truth wasn't withheld. It was all that I needed at the moment. I appreciated the principle of God's word. Thank you, teenagers, for watching. And I know you're going to learn a lot from me. And thanks for watching. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Have a good day.